Now this is the 5-frame nuke I got. Nothing fancy. It's made out of plywood. Homemade job. Here's the hole where we'll put a little juice in it for them to feed on. And there's the opening we'll remove as soon as we get our other hive set out here in place. Alright, like I was telling you earlier, this is an 8-frame hive. A few changes they've made since the days when I helped Dad keep bees. This is a base, not exactly the correct terminology, but it has a screen in the bottom and it has a removable tray. They do this so that you can check for varroa mites without having to get into your hive, because when they die, of course, or the bees die, they fall off and fall down into the screen. You can also put treatments in here, and of course the screen is to keep the bees off of the waste. Now they're still going to do their regular housekeeping duties, but the old-fashioned bottom boards were basically just a little bit of a bottom board with a couple of strips on here to keep the hive up where the bees can come in and out. So this is kind of I guess a fancy base. But I'm just going to put the hive together today. I'm not going to actually move the bees for probably another 2 to 3 days after they've gotten oriented to their new location. Just make sure you square up your hive on the base. These also have an inner lid, which I've never used before. It's got a hole for ventilation and another hole for ventilation. The bees can actually come in and out of this if they want to, so that they don't get trapped in the top. I generally put the notch to the front. And of course, last piece, you got your lid. Stainless works good, but a lot of people use painted aluminum as well. And then we're going to set that on here. Eventually, once I get the bees in here, we'll put a weight on top just to keep out nosy critters like deer. And God forbid we ever find a bear up here, so this lid won't mean much, and neither will the rock. So I guess the only thing I have to do now is open up the 5-frame hive and let them get oriented. Stop. Alright, we've got a little starter water here. It's just 1-to-1 water sugar. This is to keep them fed, kind of like a emergency supply, if you will. Since we moved them, they're in a new place. So I'm going to remove the screen we've got on here. And I know these guys will be happy to get out. And they really put the staples in this. I don't think we needed so many, but I guess I'm glad I didn't have any in the car with me on the ride home. That would have been unfortunate. And here they come. Now we're going to put a little water in here for them, a little food. You gotta be careful not to mash them. Might make them angry. In fact, they do emit pheromones when you squish them, which alerts their sisters that somebody's messing with them, and they don't really like that. All right, pause it. Alright folks, that's all we got for today. We'll be back at the end of the week to move the 5 frames from here over to their new home, and hopefully they'll get oriented by then. That's it for today. Well, today we're going to move the 5-frame nuke over to their new house, or hive, as most people would call it. Looks like I put the upper lid on backwards, or upside down actually. We never had those on our hives. And we're going to put those 5 frames out of here into the top in the middle, but of course since this is an 8 frame it doesn't really work out exactly right. But we've got 5 frames in here, which we have 1 too many. Actually, we have 2 too many. That's good because these will go in my, hopefully I can do a split with this next year. Put that one together backwards, or at least that end. Oh well, I can't do everything exactly right. At least it wasn't a critical mistake. Picked these up Friday night, and it's Sunday, so being almost dark, they are to be, pretty much everybody are to be home. Now the fellow I got these from said he packed me up pretty good, so they all look like we got plenty of comb. We might even get to see the queen. It's not critical, but haven't got my hive tool, so the good old screwdriver is going to have to do the job. Well, they've already put propolis on between the frames, so I guess they're busy. Yeah, I think a hive tool would be a much better tool for this process. And let's hope I don't drop anything. Well, I don't see the queen on this one. She's probably on the middle one, but we got some drone, plenty of honey. Actually, those aren't drone, that's brood cells. So we got honey and brood cells on this frame. We got honey, a little bit around the top, a few brood cells. I don't see any eggs though. I hope I haven't lost my queen already. But she should have still be laying. Oh, lots of brood on this one. Got a few, or a little bit of honey around the top, but almost all brood cells. And no sign of the queen on this one either. I was figuring on her being on this one. Well, it's 2 to go. She should be on one of these. Lots of brood, lots of brood. A little bit of honey. Still not seeing the queen. Oh, here she is. She's right about there. You can see her. She's bigger than all the rest of them. See her? She's right there. So, she's there and she's busy. Got lots of brood. And now for the last one. Not much in the way of brood. I do see some eggs though. Got some honey. Looks like this one's mostly honey. A little bit of handful of brood, but mostly honey. So this, and that figures it's on the outside, so that's going to be mostly resource anyway. I'm going to leave this other hive open so that they can find their way to the new house. Maybe do a little spreading of the frames here. This, it's an 8-frame box, but there's a lot of room in it considering what I'm used to seeing. But it's just nature of the game, I guess. Now, this goes down with the top escape hatch here in the front where it's supposed to be. And we got these guys working the new stuff where they're not even supposed to be here, so adios amigos. Come on, go home. Run away, your house is on fire. Some of them are just stubborn, they don't want to leave. Come on, guys. Get lost. Alright, we're trying to sting the frame. Come on, dudes. I'm going to turn this feeder bottle up here. They can drain that tomorrow. Next couple of days anyway. Nobody's coming out the front of the new one yet. That's it.